Think you know Dex Imaging. You don't know Dex.
Luby Bat Conservancy is excited to welcome everyone back to our 17th annual Florida Bat Festival held Saturday, October 23rd, 10 to 5. Bat Fest is a local family-friendly event held at Luby, where guests can enjoy games and activities in the kids zone, local artisans, food trucks, live music, craft beer from local breweries, and of course, the world's largest bats. Highlights include baby bats born this year and the grand opening of the new education center. For more information, visit the Luby Facebook page or www.luby.org/batfest.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
Two Men in a Truck.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. A few of our tractor services include bush hogging, disking, and rototilling. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
And now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online.
You're having another great day and you have good taste tuning into WOCA The Source with Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Friday. I've been looking forward to this conversation ever since it popped up on the schedule that we were going to do this, because it harkens me back to when I was a little child watching TV, when I was a smaller kid watching TV. Adventurer, filmmaker, inventor, author, unlikely celebrity. He really was an unlikely celebrity. And conservationist. For over 4 decades, Jacques Cousteau and his explorations under the ocean became synonymous with a love of science and the natural world. As he learned to protect the environment, he brought the whole world with him. 50 years ago, Jacques Cousteau was talking about, the warming and the planet's vulnerability of the warming seas. Well, there's a new documentary out called Becoming Cousteau from National Geographic Documentary Films. 2-time Academy Award-nominated filmmaker Liz Garbus is here. She's going to take us in an inside look at Cousteau and his life. Liz, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Jacques Cousteau takes me back to when I was, I'm 55, so when I was a teenager, I'd watch his television shows. I would watch his adventures with his vessel, and it was one of those things that, man, that would be cool to do. This is a guy who quite possibly lived one of the coolest lives of any human on Earth.
I would agree with you, and I also grew up watching that show, pulling up my chair to the TV every Sunday. There were the 3 channels and the 3 networks, and if you loved nature and science, Jacques Cousteau would be your destination. The undersea world of Jacques Cousteau, blew our minds. It was the first program of its time, and here was a man taking you aboard the Calypso with him, his beloved boat, around the world, diving between cracks and glaciers, exploring the reefs, showing us beautiful fish we had never seen before. It was really one of a kind at its time.
To me, I still vividly remember the day. I don't remember the actual date, but I remember it. I'm living it right now. The first time I saw a moray eel, I thought, well, that's a spectacular animal. And Jacques Cousteau was down there. He was scuba diving, and a moray eel was going through his gloved-covered hands around a reef. And I thought, I would have, as an adult, you would never have known about that unless it hadn't been for Jacques Cousteau, a guy who made science cool. He was, long before you had Bill Nye, the science guy, and all these people. Jacques Cousteau, the ocean scientist, made science really, really cool.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that, most people don't realize, certainly I did not realize, was it wasn't just that he was filming these adventures. He created the technology that made it possible. He was a young man spearfishing on the south of France, and he wanted to go deeper and stay longer. And that led to the invention of what we now know as scuba. For him, it was called the aqualung.
Right.
And then once he started going down there and staying, thought, I want to show everybody what I'm seeing. So he took, he had been loved filmmaking since a kid. He had little cameras. He took them apart, put them back together. So he built a waterproof housing for a camera. And that's how it all started. And it's really, I think that, most people don't realize that.
A lot of people don't know that the underwater camera was invented in this right here where we live in Silver Springs, Florida. And Jacques Cousteau actually reached out to Bruce Mozart, the man who originated the first underwater still picture camera, to ask him. Bruce Mozart told this story one time on the radio here, an Ocala native who was the man who took all the iconic pictures at Silver Springs, about how Jacques Cousteau showed up here one time in Ocala to pick his brain about how to do that for cameras and everything and what went into it and all, so that he could then create the underwater camera that he did with the movies and everything. But some of that, Silver Springs here and Bruce Mozart worked in concert with Jacques Cousteau to come up with that, to help him understand what he needed to do to build that camera that became so iconic that he had on the Calypso.
Well, he was diving and photographing underwater in the 1940s. Was this before then?
Bruce Mozart made the camera in the mid-1930s.
Amazing. So, yes, they must have exchanged information. How amazing.
They certainly did. Now, let me ask you this. You're you're an Academy Award nominated filmmaker 2 times. What got you interested in doing a documentary about Jacques Cousteau?
Well, it was really reading a book to my young son about the undersea world and wanting to show him how I first learned about it. This hero of my childhood, and then going to look online, looking, trying to find some of the films, and you really couldn't. And that just piqued my curiosity. So I started to research and learn more, and that was about 6 years ago that this all started.
Yeah, people think documentaries just happen overnight. Some documentaries could take 20 years to do. You started 6 years ago. Tell us a little bit more about this documentary, what it encompasses. Does it cover him from a boy all the way through his adult life? Is it during a certain time period of his research? What does this documentary cover?
Well, certainly he lived such a rich and expansive life that it would be impossible to, kind of do the cradle to grave documentary, as people say. So I really focused on his innovation and his transformation into the ocean's greatest protector, and how he used his enormous celebrity to kind of sound the alarm on the dangers to the undersea ecosystem.
I asked Guy Harvey once. He was at a signing here in town. I asked Guy, I go, you do a lot for the ocean and you do a lot for conservation. Is there anybody that you think has contributed more? Without batting an eye, he goes, Jacques Cousteau will contribute more than all of us combined for the rest of our time on Earth. That's what Guy Harvey said about Jacques Cousteau. So that's what you're talking about, is the innovations and the things he created. The entire eco-tourist action of scuba diving is because of Jacques Cousteau.
Absolutely. I mean, and I think it's just, with all the programming we have now, Shark Week, all of this stuff, it's just sort of impossible to imagine back then how just mind-blowing what he was showing us was. I mean, it just totally transformed our understanding of our planet. When
does this documentary hit theaters?
It is released today, October 22nd, at theaters across the country. So, it's really special to see it on the big screen. The cinematography is just incredible. So I hope if people are comfortable, they'll go out to the movies.
Now, is it going to be released in theaters only, or is it also now with the pandemic, they're releasing it theaters and streaming, or is it just in theaters?
It'll be in theaters now, and then yes, a little bit down the line, it will be streaming.
And so it will be streaming as well a little down the line. Jacques Cousteau, Becoming Cousteau. It is a National Geographic documentary film by two-time Academy Award-nominated filmmaker Liz Garbus. Liz, before I let you go, I got about a minute. Where can people go to if they want to find out more information about you or this movie? Is there a website they can go to?
Oh, yes. It's Becoming Cousteau .film. You can find the theaters. You can find out more about the film, more about Cousteau. BecomingCousteau.film. BecomingCousteau.film.
Hey, Liz, I know you're an Academy Award-nominated filmmaker, so you probably don't need advice from me, but can we get a Marlon Perkins documentary next?
I will take it under consideration. Thank you.
Thanks, Liz, for joining us, and thanks for putting together a great film about a great scientist and just a celebrity, but he didn't realize he was a celebrity. Thanks for what you did.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Jacques Cousteau, he goes without saying he crosses all the T's and dots all the I's for me, folks. We'll take a break, come back. It's What's the Line with Kevin Stone, the show that's taken the radio by storm. He's next, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. The Source.